Ross, every morning you give us lots of updated information on the messages for grown-ups out there, how things are going, how things are flowing, how things are growing.
I do that.
How things are lowing. But in terms of advice for kids this Christmas, you're saying kids can get into it at a very young age, right?
Yeah, I do.
So you got a few tips for money.
I have tips as well. Listen, here's one of the things, is financial planning, and there's all sorts of problems in financial planning as we know at the moment. Is it good, is it bad? It's actually a fundamentally sound thing. The earlier you can get your kids into this sort of stuff, the better it is. So here's a couple of simple things that I reckon coming into Christmas you should do. Make certain your kids are responsible for their own pocket money. One of the problems, and I'm guilty of this, I've got to say, you give the kids the pocket money and then you go, when you go out, oh, don't worry, I'll pay for that yourself.
Yes, I know.
Everybody does that, right? Well, make the kids actually pay themselves, and that way they are responsible, and if they don't have any dough, guess what? They don't get anything. I think that's the other thing.
No popcorn.
Correct. No popcorn for you. Listen, don't overpay, I think, is also important. A lot of parents these days, I think, you know, suddenly get just tempted into just giving kids too much money. And I think that's a real problem. I think it spoils kids. A lot of families, of course, just don't have the dough. Encourage small businesses. In other words, if kids go and set up something, you've got to encourage them.
Lemonade stand?
Whatever it is. You know, it's all of that sort of stuff. And also, get them into local markets. Take them there with you. Sell some stuff out of the house. It's all good for them. But I think the one big issue that many families don't do is whenever there's conversations about money in the family, I don't know whether you had this when you were a kid, there was never the kids involved.
Yes,
so you never found out, you never understood the financial pressures they're under. And I've got to say, we've done this because it's a nice little idea, and it's come from some financial planners out of Melbourne. They've got a nice little game for Christmas called Mazerro, and I want to give them a plug because I think it's things like this that are not a bad idea for families to get into. We know Monopoly's been around for a long time, and I reckon gives people great skills at handling money. But this is a nice one for Christmas, and I want to just give them a bit of a plug because I think it's one of those things. Playing time 1 to 3 hours, ages 8+, number of players 2 to 6. You've got to say for Christmas something like this, and it's an old-fashioned board game, rather than get them off the electronic games as well, is a good way to teach them about money and also a few of the life skills that go with that as well.
OK, and you've played it, have you?
No. I was going to. It was a bit. I've got to say, I needed a couple of kids with me to actually have a go at it.
Time poor, Ross.
Well,
Time poor, that's right. But look, there's credit cards in there. There's mortgages, all that type of thing. There are, yeah. So that's kind of a nice way, and it teaches kids the reality of how to do it. So I've read up about the game, and I just reckon it's a really lovely idea that you can actually go to. And coming into Christmas is a practical way in which I think kids might get something out of it as well.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, it's one of the great legacies you can set up for your kids, Carl. What do you do with yours?
Well, like my parents before me, I just say, what do you think, there's a money tree out there? And I believed there was a money tree out there.
Did you?
For a long, long time.
How old were you when you realised there was no money tree?
28. So I think that's the best way of going.
Yeah.
Just like knowing you're waiting for this tree to grow money.
Yeah.
It's only through hard work that the tree grows money.
Oh,
correct. Oh, geez, you're good, hey? How good's that? What about you, Sylvia?
I just got a job as soon as I could at 14, 9 months because my mum didn't give me a cent in pocket money. So as soon as I could get a job, I had one at Macca's. That's the way I went.
That's the way it goes.
I was Wrench's shoe store at Campbelltown.
Gotta love that,
which explains my shoe obsession ever since, probably.
I was bred into you.
Good stuff, Ross.
Thanks, Ross.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.